Why photography? For the moment when my heart moves, I concentrate on my 5 senses. I seek the world I want to express, like an artist standing before an open canvas. My precious time to capture the moment. My heartbeat rises. I cease to breathe. When such a moment comes, everything stops. Such moments are beautiful.
This camera is the first one that frees the photographer to really be creative.
The best of all worlds wrapped into one.
What is different about the autofocus in the Z9? Everything. Autofocus that's super smart.
Photographing at 120 frames a second. I can't fathom that. You've got 8K, you've got 4K slow-mo. I'm getting shots like I've never gotten before in my career.
It just explodes on the screen.
It's that clarity, it's that punch that I've craved forever, and now I have it.
Hi, my name is Alice Mahran. I am a photographer, originally from the Netherlands, however now share home between Amsterdam and Sydney. I'm fortunate to see lots of beautiful places around the world and shooting destination weddings, and also working with some really lovely brands and their products. I have been shooting Canon cameras since the beginning of my journey and was very happy when they asked me to try out their new Canon EOS R5. I'm honestly not a technical photographer, so camera for me is a creative tool that lets me focus on capturing those pure moments, which can sometimes only last a split of a second. And the EOS R5 can shoot 20 frames per second and to a C-Fast Express card. That gives me lots more confidence that I've got the shot that I wanted and won't miss the next. And when shooting weddings, there are lots of moments that require absolute silence. So using that electronic shutter is so ideal. What I like the most about Canon is how reliable their cameras have been and their steady improvements that let me provide better quality images to my clients. I'm always looking to grow as a photographer, and this camera really feels like it steps up my game. Canon is a brand I've always trusted and enjoyed using. Whilst my 5D Mark IV has served me well, I'm excited for the next best thing, which is the Canon EOS R5.
If you're looking for the ideal hybrid camera that can deliver top-of-the-line camera features for both photographers and videographers alike, then the Alpha 7 Mark IV is probably going to be a great option for you. This camera packs in Sony's top-of-the-line camera features and includes them into a mid-tier, full-frame mirrorless camera that packs an incredible punch for any type of use. I'm Derek from Sony. Let's take a quick look. Now starting out with a punch, this mid-tier camera includes the Beyond's XR processor, which is previously only found in the Sony Alpha 1 and the Alpha 7S III. Sony also developed a new 33 megapixel back illuminated CMOS sensor for this camera. The new sensor gives you a higher resolution than its predecessor and better low light performance. And through a combination of these two things, the Alpha 7 Mark IV is 8 times faster than the previous Alpha 7 Mark III. The Alpha 7 Mark IV is extremely fast thanks to its real-time tracking, real-time autofocus, and up to 10 frames a second in continuous shooting. The real-time autofocus allows you to quickly lock in focus on a human's eye, an animal's eye, or even a bird. And this is the first time all this has been available in an Alpha camera while shooting in movie mode. Because the camera's sensor is 94% covered with 759 phase detection autofocus points, pinpointing the exact composition you're looking for and focusing on your subject has really never been easier. Additionally, real-time tracking is going to consistently follow your subject, keeping it in focus for the entirety of your shoot. In creating this camera, we wanted to make sure that we could combine Sony's professional cinema camera technology along with the Sony Alpha premium camera features. S-Cinetone color profile is inherited from Sony's line of professional cinema line cameras. It's going to give you the ability to get much more natural skin tones, soft colors, as well as gorgeous highlights. And since this is processed in the camera, it's easy to create a much more expressive and natural look for your movies without any additional editing. And you can also shoot full-frame 4K 10-bit video with 422 color grading, no line skipping or pixel binning, and you can shoot up to 60 frames per second in Super 35 mode. We've also added a couple of other new technologies into creating a great cinematic look, and that includes breathing compensation on certain lenses, focus assist, and focus mapping. So whether you're an amateur or a professional, shooting an incredibly cinematic movie is going to be very simple with the Alpha 7 Mark IV. And whether you're shooting video or if you're shooting pictures, and no matter what lens you're using, the in-body 5-axis stabilization can provide up to 5.5 steps of shutter speed compensation to maximize the performance of the 33 megapixel sensor. You can also take advantage of optical image stabilization with active mode to get even more stable shots while you're shooting video. Live streaming is becoming more popular than ever, and with the Alpha 7 Mark IV, not only is it easy to set up, but it looks amazing. Setting it up is really simple because it just needs a USB cable from the camera to a compatible PC, and then select live streaming from the pop-up options. You can simultaneously live stream at 4K at 15 frames per second or 1080p at 60 frames per second with audio, while simultaneously recording into the camera's memory card. There are also 10 creative look profiles that you can add to give you a very unique look and add a little personality to your live streams that don't require any post-editing. And lastly, we offer a soft skin effect setting in the camera as well. This can help skin look bright, bold, and beautiful, as well as diminishing some of the blemishes and wrinkles and dull spots as well, while emphasizing the eyes and the mouth. I probably should have been recording everything with this. Maybe I will. But this extremely versatile camera really is built for the hybrid camera shooter, where whether you're shooting photos, videos, or making movies as a cinematographer, this camera does it all and didn't skimp out on any of the important features. So whether you're a cinematographer, videographer, or photographer, or a hybrid of all three, the Alpha 7 Mark IV is probably going to be a great option for you to consider. But if you do have any other additional questions, want to talk to an expert like myself, there's a link in the description below for the Sony 101 consultation program. There's also a video chat option available to make it really easy for us to share information back and forth to make sure we get the best Sony solution for you and your needs. I've been Derek from Sony. Thanks for watching.
If you're a Sony Alpha 1 owner, listen up. Sony has released firmware version 1.30, which brings some exciting updates to this already amazing camera. Now, the Alpha 1 offers 8K recording with 422 10-bit quality when you're shooting in XAVC HS. This is currently the highest video quality offered in Alpha series cameras, and it gives you so much flexibility when you're tweaking and adjusting your videos in post. I'm working on a video that should be releasing soon that gives you an idea of the kind of quality that you could expect using this new mode, so stay tuned for that. Another update that I know I've eagerly been anticipating is the addition of various sizes to the raw lossless compression options. Now you could select small, medium, and large size lossless compressed RAW files. I took 4 photos here to compare the file sizes, and here's what we have. Uncompressed RAW files are 50 megapixels and come in at 103.8 megabytes. Raw lossless compressed files are 50 megapixels and they come in at 58.7 megabytes, so almost half the size of an uncompressed RAW file. Then with the MRAW file, you get a 21 megapixel image and it comes in at 32.6 megabytes. And finally, the SRAW file gives you approximately 12 megapixel files at 26.3 megabytes in size. This is something that I think many wedding and event photographers are going to enjoy. Moving right along, the Alpha 1 update also brings proxy recording during a remote computer connection, improved eye autofocus, and stability updates to white balance and remote shooting with Imaging Edge Desktop. Check out the link in the description of this video to get this exciting new update. And while you're there, be sure to like this video and subscribe so you can stay up to date on everything that's happening in the Alpha universe. While you're updating your camera, be sure to check out the video that you see here on the screen, and I'll see you there.
Alpha.
I'm a destination wedding photographer because I was so lucky to be born in a place like this. People come from every side of the world to have a wedding in Italy. They want to see what we have around, the villa, the lake. This is my meaning, is the mix, the two things, the people and landscape. This is the goal of my photography. I started using the Sony Alpha system 2 years ago, and this was a big revolution for me. It's so easy to work with the mirrorless and so beautiful. You can concentrate to your idea, to your creativity. Sony Alpha 1 is the perfect camera. You can have a lot of resolution, it's 50 megapixels. It's a very fast autofocus. You can have a wonderful viewfinder and 30 frames per second, everything in one. I think that Sony Alpha 1 is the future, it's something really amazing, and I want to use this camera forever.